everybody, I'm Old Hollywood Vintage Gal, and today I'm going to finally do my To Kill a Mockingbird book slash movie review. And I just thumbed up my sister because she's helping me. Thank you. Okay. So To Kill a Mockingbird, it's about a lawyer named Atticus Finch and his two kids, Scout and Jem Finch, and their lessons in life on stereotyping and racism and prejudice. Okay, so I wrote a lot of notes because again, I was reading the book and I wanted to make sure I had all my notes. First off, I'd like to say I was not crazy about the book. I thought it was kind of boring, and I didn't. The worst thing about the book that I hated was the N-word. They say the N-word way too many times for my taste, and I don't like that. I do love the movie. The movie is one of my all-time favorite movies of all time, and I thought everyone was perfectly cast. So yeah, I highly recommend the movie, but I will not recommend the book because I really did not care for the book. Alright, so let's get to my notes. I have nitpicking, too much swearing for me. That was one of them. Okay, I already went through the nitpicking. There are a ton of differences between the movie and the book. There's some of the stuff that the movie stuck to the original material, but they changed a lot. So in the book, Calpurnia, the woman that's working for Atticus Finch, and that's the mother figure in the kids' lives, says, "There goes the meanest man that ever took a breath of life." I think she was referring to Boo's father, or Arthur Radley's father. Well, in the movie, it was Jem who said that line. And there was a ton of other stuff that was also said from different other characters between book and movie, but I can't remember all of them. But that was just example. There's a lot of dialogue that was pretty accurate, but different parts of the movie or the stories. So let me think of one. For example, a character might say something in the book, and then a couple scenes later, there would be another part that was supposed to be combined into the sentence, which was in the movie. So, like, for example, in the movie, they talked about like how it was a sin to kill a mockingbird. And this is Atticus's like famous line or something. Well, in the book, part of that sentence I think was said from a different character, and then Atticus will later finish it in another scene. I think something like that. Let's see. We get a lot of insight into Jem's adolescence in the book, and that's something we don't see in the movie, and that's something I wish they would have touched up on. I really like how we get to see Jem grow from a boy becoming a teenager, and how he's becoming responsible, and how he's coming to that age where he's getting older. My favorite scene with Jem in the book is when he's reading to Mrs. DeVos, and we see Mrs. DeVos in the movie, but it's in the beginning, and she's like a throwaway character. We pass her by, and she's basically just a crabby old lady, and so she's given more detail in the book, and we know more about her in the book, whereas in the movie, again, she's just like a throwaway character. Let's see. Okay, one of my favorite scenes in both the book and movie is where Atticus is guarding Tom Robinson, and the mob of people come in and they're trying to kill him or something. Well, the kids rush in, and they're like, "We'll send the kids home," and then someone grabs hold of Jem, and they're like, "Well, I'll send them home." And Scout retaliates by kicking the daylights out of the guy that's got Jem. Now, in the movie, he just takes the kids to him for safety, and that's it. In the book, Atticus kind of scolds Scout for kicking the guy, which, yeah, that's manner and all that, but I kind of didn't think that was necessary because, hey, some guy just touched your boy. I think she's entitled to kick someone who's got a hold of her brother, but that's just me. What else do I have here? Oh, the courtroom scene. Oh boy. The courtroom scene is one of the most iconic scenes in both book and movie, but it's not one of my all-time favorites. What was interesting in the courtroom scene was it is pretty accurate for the most part. What interested me was Mayella. She seemed more timid. Actually, she seemed timid in both book and movie, and then becomes kind of annoyed and frustrated with Atticus. Well, in the book, Atticus is gentle with her, but then becomes kind of scolding after a while. In the movie, he kind of stays the same, just kind of to the point, but he's not being mean at all. And not to say he's mean in the book, I'm just saying he's more tough. But, what was it? He questions Mayella a lot more. She also, contradicts herself more in the book. So, like, he may say, so you say that he hit you. And she goes, I don't recollect that he did hit me. And then a second later she goes, oh yes, he did hit me. And then, like a few minutes later, Atticus may say, okay, so you said that he hit you. And she's like, what? I don't know. It happened all so fast. And it's like, what? Make up your mind. What is this? So she contradicts herself way more in the book. Not to say that she does it in the movie, but she does in the book. And that's one thing that bugs me, because I don't like how prejudiced they are, because it's proof right there he didn't do it in either book or movie, because Mayella contradicts herself. And there's proof to the contrary that Tom Robinson never raped Mayella. And yet they go ahead and charge him anyway just because they don't like blacks, which ticks me off a lot. Okay, in the movie, when Jem and Scout are walking home from the play, Jem is saying, wait, I hear a weird noise, but when we stop, I don't hear it anymore. And Scout's like, I bet you it's Cecil, Jacob's trying to scare me. Well, in the book, it's Jem that suggests it's Cecil instead of the movie where it's Scout. Okay, this is one thing. I do like how Gregory played Atticus in the movie better in the scene where Scout comes home. Well, first Jem is taken home by Boo Radley, and Scout runs, and then a second later we see Atticus go, Scout! And then, you know, she runs into his arms, and he takes his daughter inside, and then calls Heck, the police officer, sheriff, that's what it was. In the book, there's a Aunt Alexandra, who we spend a lot of time with in the book and not in the movie. But it's her that comes to Scout, and, you know, all Atticus does is like, where's Scout? And then once he knows that she's safe, he doesn't really go to her or anything. It's the aunt. And that kind of bugged me a little bit. I prefer the movie's adaptation of that scene way better. Of course, there are way more characters in the book. Of course, like Miss DeBose and Aunt Alexandra and many other characters that the book really delves deep into that we don't get in the movie. And yeah, I guess that's understandable because, you know, a movie cannot be as long as the book, I guess. So, let's see here. Alright, both movie and book pretty much end on the same note, where Scout is safe in Atticus' arms and Jem is in bed, and it pretty much ends with the same line. What was that line? That Atticus would be there all night, and he'll be there when Jem waked up in the morning, which is nice. Okay, so that's basically the differences between the book and movie and what I liked and disliked. Okay, let's talk about the characters. Everyone in the movie was portrayed wonderfully. I love Gregory Peck as Atticus Finch. I love Mary Bedham as Scout, and Philip, whatever your name is, as Jem. My all-time favorite character, though, probably in book and movie, even though they don't get enough credit, is Boo, or Arthur Radley. He's portrayed as this monster for the kids at first, but then later becomes a real sweetheart. It's kind of like another Hunchback of Notre Dame. He seems like a freakish monster, but later he's got a heart of gold, and you realize who this character is. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw To Kill a Mockingbird, which was last year, I believe, I cried. The part where we first see Boo and Scout's looking at him with awe and wonder and love in a way, and she goes, "Hey, Boo," and just, oh my gosh, Boo's face is just so wonderful, and he portrays a lot of character with no lines. He's just so wonderful, and I wish I could remember the actor's name. Oh my goodness, that's gonna bug me so bad. But the actor portraying Boo in the movie was wonderful. He was phenomenal. He was perfect. He conveyed that emotion and just, oh my gosh, he made me cry. I just loved him so much. So yeah, anything I didn't like about the movie and book. Like I said, the book I really did not like. I didn't like the swearing, and I just thought the book was just a little boring. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of thumbs down, hate mail for this or whatever, but I really just didn't care for the book. It wasn't my kind of literature. I'm sorry, it wasn't that great for me. I do love the movie though. The movie is my favorite movie, alongside with classic movies from adaptations like The Wizard of Oz or Jane Eyre or Little Women. So yeah, that's pretty much my book/movie comparison of To Kill a Mockingbird. Let me know in the comments below what you think of To Kill a Mockingbird. Did you like the book? Did you like the movie? Did you like both? Or did you like either, and why? Alright, bye. Have a great, wonderful day.